Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for watching. Today we are in Richland, PA. It's a very rural community. We are at the Neptune Fire Company, and this building is pretty cool. It used to be a bunch of different things, including a movie theater, library, a jail. Let's go see what they have. All right, let's go into their main entrance here. In their main entrance is a little foyer, and this was the original place where they sold tickets for the movie theater, which is now a banquet hall. It's nice to see that they kept this, put their current line officers in here, but a lot of history in this building. You're going to see that as we go along. We'll even show you some of the things, some of the old pictures that they had from when they did plays and stuff like that. Here is their trophy case. Obviously, every firehouse is very proud of what they've done. So their parades, their awards, everything from recognition from mayors and township officials, all right here for the public to see. Next, we're going to go into their social hall or their banquet hall, and we're going to meet up with their deputy chief. He's going to give us a lot of the history in regards to this building and this company. So let's go meet him. We're going to be meeting up with Taylor Smith. He's one of their deputy chiefs. Hey, Taylor, how you doing, bud?
Not too bad. How about yourself, Mike?
Not too bad. Thanks for inviting us out here.
Thanks for coming out.
You have a very unique building here that has a whole bunch of history.
That we do.
First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in the service?
So I joined as a junior in 2005, worked my way up through the ranks. I'm currently the deputy fire chief, third generation fireman here.
Wow.
A lot of history.
All right. So have you always been in this building, or how does that work?
This is our second building. We originally occupied a space at 19 North Park Street until 1922 when we moved to this firehouse and ran a single engine out of this firehouse until 1974. And then we ended up building an addition in 75.
Okay.
And that's where we're at now.
And there's been a lot of modifications. Where we're standing right now, this is your current banquet hall or social hall.
That's right, yep.
But I heard it was something pretty special back in the day.
Yeah, so back in the day, this was our movie theater, the town movie theater, and also they did a lot of plays.
Okay. Did that help with the finance of the fire company? Is that kind of purpose of it?
That was one of the fundraisers, running the movie theater.
Okay.
Help pay the bills.
Wow. That's very unique. We haven't seen anything like that before. And it's something that, in a small rural community, this really becomes the center hub for the community. So, that's pretty genius.
Most certainly. This firehouse, most everywhere you always say the firehouse was the center of the town. This most certainly was the very center of the town. Everything was held here. You had the library, you had town meetings. Everything in this town was centered around the firehouse.
That's awesome. So how many residents do you have in this town, give or take?
Roughly 1,600.
Okay. And about how many fire EMS calls do you run?
Last year we did 237 runs.
Okay. And a crew member of how many on the roster, give or take?
About 30.
Okay. That's a pretty good turnout. For 1,600 residents to having 30 volunteers, you guys are doing it right out here.
Well, we try.
Can you explain to me what this used to look like when it was a movie theater? Because right now, this is just like a standard banquet hall.
So yeah, it was dug out and it slanted down to the front, and there was a big stage in the front down there.
Okay.
And then there was a drop cloth for the...
So the drop ceiling wasn't here. This went all the way up.
Yep, went all the way to the top, and then there's a projection room upstairs.
Okay.
It's actually still there.
So the old real projectors,
Yep.
That's the kind of movies you used to show here.
That's right, yep. Until the later days, they got some fancier equipment, but...
Right.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That's real cool. So as we're walking out here, off to our left is the industrial kitchen for the banquet hall.
Yep. So actually, back in the day, that was the billiards room.
Okay.
They had a couple pool tables in there.
So they can come in, get a movie theater ticket, hang out in the billiards room, kind of like the game rooms they have
And also,
now.
yes, and then what is the storeroom now is also, they used to have a card room.
Okay.
So they had a little bit of everything.
Man, that's awesome. So how about we make our way out to the museum? When I was standing out front, I saw that you have a little museum out front.
That's right.
Can we go take a look at some of those things?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, Taylor. So your museum is over here. It's a little one, but you got a whole bunch of stuff in here.
Oh, yeah.
Can we step inside?
Most certainly.
All right, let's take a look. Wow. You have an old hose cart and a pull cart with chem?
Yep. So it was a chemical reaction. You see the handles on the tanks there. That was to stir the chemical in.
Okay.
And then you had your 1-inch booster, and that's what you had to fight fire with.
Right. Man, you even got a ladder up top, so.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot of fun pulling the hills of Richland with this thing.
Yeah.
There was no horse or anything. It was just good old-fashioned manpower.
Yep.
So as you see, it's got this extension here. You'd let it out, and now you could get all the guys from the neighborhood on there and start trekking the hill.
I bet they won a lot of tug of war competitions back in the day.
I'm sure they better men than us.
And of course, you got all the trophies. Are these from state conventions?
They are from all over the place. A lot of state conventions. Our fire police, they used to go all over the place. They would go to Delaware, New York. They had a big marching group, and they would go and they won a lot of trophies. A lot of these are their trophies.
Okay.
From their marching unit.
Right. So this was one of the old fire police uniforms.
So yes, that was for the USA Bicentennial. That was their uniform for that year.
Okay. 1976.
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, the members' ladies made all those uniforms for them.
Okay.
Special for that year.
I don't think I've ever seen a uniform like that before.
I doubt it. From one of a kind, I'm sure.
Yeah. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
And that Richland sign was the original sign from our train station.
Okay. All right. So how about we go back inside and take a look at your crew room or area up there?
We can do that.
Okay. And to access that, we got to go around back, right?
Yeah. So when we put this in here, the door to the upstairs used to be right here, and we lost that when we made the room. So we had to give something up.
Right. But it's good for the public. As they drive by, they can see this. They can really, stop by and take a look at it. Maybe even knock on the door and get the door open.
If they want to, they can.
All right. Let's go take a look. So as we make our way around to the back, can you tell us a little bit more about the street that we're on?
So we're on Main Street, pretty much dead center in the middle of town.
And this Main Street, I hear, has a railroad track at one side, or how does that work?
So we actually were mentioned in or used in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We are the only town in the USA that is a four-way intersection bisected by the railroad.
Okay. And that railroad is it SEPTA? Is it construction? What kind of railroad does it go to?
So they run a little bit of everything. We have ridge apply rafters up the street here.
Okay.
And they make quite a few stops there to pick up rafters and take all over the place.
So it's a working railroad?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Now behind me looks like one of the old ringers. Is this what I think it is?
That is original from when they got rid of the bell.
Okay.
And they installed the siren. This was one of the only ways to signal that there was an emergency. So you could either come to the firehouse and pull the box. Across the street used to be the hardware store. They had a switch over there. They could also manually set off the siren.
Okay, so we'll let the car go by real quick. Of course, we're filming. That's what's going to happen. So there was no 911 back when this firehouse was built and put in here. You actually had to come to the firehouse, pull a bell, or hit somebody that knew what was going on. And next door was your old 911 dispatching center,
so
right?
Before they put the addition on in 75, there was the house that was here was the switchboard for the town. So you could also call her, and she could come and pull the siren then.
Okay. Now, did she do switchboard also for the police department and ambulance services too?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know that history.
Okay. But it's awesome because...
But I would imagine with doing the switchboard for the whole town, I would think she handled it all.
Yeah, we had a company that we went to down in Westchester or Downingtown area that they had a live-in guy that did the switchboard. He's kind of the house man.
Sure.
So that's essentially what she was being. It was the house land.
Yep.
All right, so to get upstairs, we're going to walk around back and we're going to go up to your living quarters, right?
Yep.
Nice steep stairway.
Yeah, good and dangerous for you.
Yeah, I like the decorations though.
Yeah, well, that's so they don't get in trouble for leaving the lights on. They just leave those on.
I'll walk right in here. This is your bunk room, communal bunk room.
Yep.
We've seen this before. Actually, some of the ones in Lebanon County had the communal bunk rooms.
Yep.
Love that everybody's got the house blanket too.
Yep. So this was all built by the men. Everybody did threw a little bit in whatever they were good at, either drywall, framing, and the men did this themselves. It was about early 2000s. They decided we weren't using the space for anything constructive, and they wanted to do something to get more people to hang out here.
Storage? Was this, what would they normally use this for?
So back in the day when they were still doing movies, they used this as the banquet hall. There was a full kitchen and everything up here at that point. So
you have a stage here too. What was this used for?
Yeah, so if they had something going on the main stage, they could always rent this out, and they would have another stage at their disposal. They also ran bingo out of here for many years when they still had the movie theater downstairs.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You were a movie theater downstairs, that generated revenue. You did bingo, that generated revenue.
Yep.
You had a library. Of course, that's going to generate a little bit of revenue, but that's more of a public service.
Sure, yep.
You also did a fair, right?
Carnival, yep.
Carnival, okay.
Yep.
And how did that work?
So it was, it depends what year you were looking at. There were, every Saturday in June originally was a carnival night. And then they would have bands come in and play. They had all kinds of games, food, you name it. They had it going on.
So all those proceeds would, get split up,
Yep.
go to the firehouse, and then pay for the vendors and,
Sure.
and the entertainers.
Yep.
Now, I heard you had some pretty big entertainers back in the day.
That we did, yes we did.
Yeah, Garth Brooks played here?
Garth Brooks and his wife, Trisha, she played here.
Wow.
Hank Jr. played. Jerry Reed, we had
Okay.
a lot of big name people here.
Man, that's pretty cool. Out in the middle of rural Pennsylvania.
That's it.
Who knew that Neptune and Richland was so popular?
Yeah, well, back in the day.
Yeah. So right now this is actually set up pretty nice with a weight room. All too often, we have to go to the gyms to stay fit.
Yep.
So we're using the Planet Fitnesses or the Gold's Gym. You guys have everything for your members right here.
Yeah, that's that was another thing. The members just took it upon themselves, and we started collecting equipment, and here's what we have today. Just it's not everything, but it's enough to keep you moving. And
you got everything you need. You got your bench press, you got your free weights, you got everything that you possibly need to stay nice and healthy.
Yeah.
So very cool to have. Behind me, of course, the ping pong table and the pool table. So you still got part of that pool hall that
That's
you said
right.
downstairs. To entertain. And then you also have another little room off back here.
Yep, yeah, just another lounge, guys to hang out, watch some TV, play video games.
Yeah, this is where a lot of people, firehouses and EMS stations, we spend most of our time.
Yep.
We don't get a whole lot of phone, 911 calls all the time, but we need a place to be here so we can get those trucks out.
That's it.
This is perfect. It's nice and warm in here. It's freezing outside today, but
that's for sure.
The heat's in here nice. You got a big television. It looks like you got at least a PlayStation or a Game Boy.
Yep.
Of course, showing my age.
Gives the guys somewhere to hang out and
Yeah.
keeps the kids off the street. And
Yeah, exactly. So I noticed when we were walking around earlier, you had, 5 younger members here.
Yep.
You guys are doing pretty well as far as younger members.
yeah, that's one thing we've been blessed with. We have a lot of good kids that want to learn and want to be here. So just try to do the right thing and bring them up.
So if there's somebody watching this right now and they wanted to be part of your fire company, whether they're young, old, or in between, how would they do that?
So they can either get a hold of us on Facebook. We have a strong Facebook presence.
Okay.
And also they can always call the station. It's 717-866-2675.
Okay. Now, is there somebody here usually all the time, or?
Most of the time, you'll get somebody to answer. If not, you can always leave a message.
Right.
But
And do they need to have any kind of education coming in?
Nope, no. So we'll train you, give you everything you need.
That's pretty cool. You guys are a fire company and you're a QRS.
That's correct. Yep.
So you have first responders that go out to calls.
First responders, EMTs. We have one paramedic.
Okay.
So.
Wow, you guys are doing a lot for such a tiny little house. You guys are doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
So we appreciate that. Thank you for inviting us out. But we have yet to go see some of these trucks. How about we go down to your engine bay and take a look at your trucks?
We can do that.
All right.
Let's go.
So as we make our way back down to the apparatus bay, do us a favor. As you guys are watching, hit subscribe, hit notifications, share this video. We appreciate it. We want to get as much exposure to all these companies that we get to see. And it's all because of you guys. Also, don't forget, we do have new merchandise. Go to watchheroesnextdoor.com and pick yourself up something. We're going to make our way back into the engine bay and to see what they have. So this is your side entrance coming into the apparatus bay.
Yep.
So I was a responder. I would come down the little driveway here, park out back, and come right through this door.
Right in the side door there. Yep.
First engine we have is
1998 HME New Lexington.
okay.
It's a 1750 pump, 1250 gallon tank.
And it's got a plume vent kind of, but this is a unique setup because it doesn't come off the lower exhaust. Nope. This has almost like a smokestack.
Yeah, so when this was built in 98, they still had a vertical stack, and we had to get a special adapter, and they made us this rig here for the plume vent system.
Right, so you really got to line this truck up nice.
Yep.
Got to have a spotter.
Yeah, got to be on the line, that's for sure.
Along here is all your gear.
Yep. Yeah, everybody has their own rack.
Yeah, I like the big red racks. It's given that new tradition that's showing up. It's nice and clean. You got plenty of room to put all your gear, get it up off the floor.
Yep, keep it dry.
Yep, get your helmets dry and your gloves dry. Off the back of this, when I was walking around, I noticed you have a ton of 5-inch. Why is that?
So we currently have 3,600 feet of 5-inch, and it's split. We can do dual lays, and it's just the makeup of our first due. We have a lot of long lanes in the area, and we have a water supply issue, so we can lay dual lines, one from the hydrant, and then one set up for a tanker operation.
Do you use a lot of tanker task force out here? Do you have a community pool you draw from? What do you normally do?
We used to have a community pool, and that was always a standing order. If we had anything going beyond a few rooms or any type of commercial, we always would lay to the pool. We lost the pool, so now everything is by either off the hydrant or from a tanker task force.
Okay. You also have a screen for drafting. Do you have rivers or any streams or anything you can pull from?
So we have some streams down the street heading towards 422. We have a large quarry, Limestone Springs, and we have a dry hydrant set up there that we can draft from.
Okay. Now I noticed you have pull-through engine bay here.
Yep.
You have a very short skirt out front. Do you normally use it as a pull-through, or do you back it in?
The engine is normally a pull-through. The squad gets backed in just because generally everybody piles up on that side of things. So the squad still backs in, but the engine will pull through.
Okay. And so let's talk about the squad. What is this?
So it was originally a 1993 Salisbury with a Volvo underneath it, and then in 2016 it was refurbed by Fireline in Lancaster County.
Okay.
With the Salisbury chassis. They put this addition on for us. This now holds all of our RIT equipment and some extra tools, and then they repainted the body as well.
Wow, this is a pretty truck. Do you mind maybe in another video, let's do a station rigs of that?
Sure.
All right, so if you guys are watching, pay attention. We're gonna do a station rigs of the Neptune Fire Company squad?
Yep.
All right. And you have one other bay, right?
Yes.
All right, a utility. Is this a brush truck too, or just a utility?
So it does not have a pumper tank on it, but it does have hose set up for that. We can lay in with a 2.5, and then we have a gated Y, and then we have two 300-foot forestry lines that we can deploy.
Right.
And then it has all of our forestry hand tools. So not technically it is not a brush truck, but it can operate.
Which is the name utility.
Yes, so it does operate as our primary QRS unit.
Okay.
The squad is also certified, so if we have multiple calls going on, we can, if we have the manpower, double pull to handle.
And this is a F550?
Yep, 2005 F550.
Okay. Now this, where we're standing now, was your original engine bay.
This was the original bay, yes.
It's not very high.
Nope.
And it's got a unique feature in the back here. I was looking at some of the pictures when we did our initial walk around, and tell us about this thing.
So sure, come on over. All it is pretty much a coat rack. It was one way to make things easier for responders and also to dry them. So our 1947 Mack would park here, and then all the coats that the company owned were hung on these posts.
Yeah, the little pins, right?
Yep, so then you got a pulley, and then there was a hook here, so when the driver would get in the truck, he would flip this tab out of that bracket. All the coats would drop and fall into the hose bed.
Okay, so that way you don't have to come to the firehouse to respond. You can say, the fire's around the corner, I live 3 blocks the other way, I can go there and my fire gear is gonna be showing up.
Yep, and it was just that way, instead of having, at that time, everything was on the side of the truck, so all they would have to do is get their boots and helmets off the side. It was just one less thing they had to take off. Also, another little history tidbit, this was the gas nightlight from way back in the day.
Wow.
So gas was running to it, they'd light it, and that would light the bays.
Man, that goes a long time back. So this building, let's repeat that. This building has been here since when?
1922.
1922.
Yes.
Wow. You guys got a ton of history here. You're still going strong today. That is absolutely amazing. So, having, volunteerism decrease as they have been, and having a hard time finding funding for a lot of these things, you guys are doing it right.
Well, we're keeping our heads above water.
You also do another kind of fundraising currently. What do you do for that?
So we do a lot of raffles. August, we always have our annual money raffle. It's all cash prizes. We do a joint gun ticket with 2 other departments.
Okay.
And that's in June. And then we generally run a our own gun ticket in January.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to do that. And do you guys do any kind of parades?
So we are going to be hosting the Lebanon County Firemen's Convention, the 100th anniversary, this June 18th.
Okay.
So it's parade starts at 1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think 1 o'clock is the start off time. And we're hoping to have a great turnout.
Does that come right down Main Street?
Going to go right down Main Street, heading that way. So it starts at our carnival grounds, makes a big loop around town, heads right past the firehouse, and disbands back at the carnival grounds.
Okay. Now, do you have stuff at the carnival grounds?
We do. So it got to the point, we had torn a lot of the buildings away, and we had a couple buildings left. We're like, what are we going to do? Are we just going to tear them away? It was getting to the point they were in disrepair, and we decided to turn it into a training facility. So the old kitchen we turned into a training facility, and
can we take a look at that?
Most certainly.
All right, so we got to take a little drive though, right?
Yeah, we'll take a little
Let's
ride
go take
up
a
there.
look.
Sounds good.
All right. So coming here, it's only about a half mile from your house to come up to the fairgrounds.
Yep.
And this was one of the storage units that you converted into a training center, right?
Yeah. So it was originally the kitchen for when we had carnival, and it got to the point we said either we're going to tear it down or do something productive with it. So our members took it upon themselves, once again, a little firehouse ingenuity, and this is what we came up with.
I was not expecting this. I was expecting, something real small, like a crawl through maze, but you literally have everything here.
Yeah, we tried to model it as much as we could after a legitimate rancher.
Yeah, and, forcible entry to go into the door, so that's good. All the walls that are going up here. Now, do you smoke this up too?
Yeah, yep. So we have, your average run-of-the-mill smoke machine, and then we also have an outside smoker that if we want, we can use real smoke.
Okay. So you got your bathroom, living room, couple bedrooms.
Yep.
You literally got everything back here.
Yeah, we tried to make it, the most realistic as possible, and
right.
We can move things around, and
so in here we see kind of the rafters. Is that what that's designed for?
Yeah, so we can lay that down to simulate that there was a mayday or something, so they have to crawl over some rafters. We can just throw a bunch of different scenarios. We have some stuff to entangle people.
Okay.
Okay. We have a wall breach in this bedroom that you have to breach the wall.
And cat corner.
That's it, yeah. We tried to, you never go into a clean house. You always got either kids' toys or,
right. All too often we see these training houses that are built with these Connex boxes that are just boxes, and they, throw garbage really into it. But you have it set up like a standard house.
And that's what we were going for. Here we have a prop to pull ceiling.
Okay.
Just to, get you familiar. We can use this for the Denver drill. This opens up, and now you got a window. So
yeah, and it looks like a bailout wall.
Yep, yeah, we got the bailout prop there. That was donated to us from our friends at South Lebanon.
Okay.
So
this is absolutely cool,
and it's open to everybody in the area. Companies from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now,
we let anybody,
do you rent it out, or are you?
No,
just
the only
offer
thing if you use either the door simulator or some of the drywall, we ask that you just reimburse that.
Okay.
And that's all we ask. Other than that, it's open to whoever wants to use it.
Right. So having a collaboration between different firehouses and having an area like this is really key for building relationships, making sure that your guys are trained. One of the difficult things, especially in EMS, is getting people trained up high enough.
Sure.
You got to send them off to a fire school, or you got to send them off to a paramedic or EMT school. You guys have it right here a half mile down from your house.
Yep.
So outside, you also had some garage things.
Yeah. So we have garage doors that we have mocked in. One of the local businesses just lets us come and take what we want, and then we can fab them in, and then we can cut them, do whatever we have to there. We also have a full standpipe and sprinkler setup that one of the members from Newmanstown Fire Company, that's what he does for a living, and he mocked that all up for us.
Wow.
So we have a little bit of everything, and
This is cool. This is cool.
True roof simulator out over the overhang on that side. I forgot to show you that. We have a roof simulator there, so we can get up there, cut holes, shingle, the whole deal.
Man. So if I'm ever in your area or I ever move up here, I'm joining your firehouse because this is what I want to go through. This is something fun to play with.
We'd be happy to have you.
So, we did a scenario with SWAT. This would be cool to do a SWAT job through.
If they want to use it, they're more than welcome. They can come up and give it a whirl.
Man. So thank you very much for inviting us out. You guys have some fantastic things, a lot of history. It's in a nice rural area of Pennsylvania that not many people get to see. So thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Yep. This is Taylor Smith. He's the Deputy Chief of Neptune Fire Company. Yep. And this is Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for watching. Do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit notification, and keep sharing these videos so we can keep on growing.